First and foremost, before we get started, I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kwadash, and of all those great millstone, while learned his truth. And also to those elect that scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom. And come back here today with another great and powerful lesson to the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So the title of today's lesson is Uproars of the People. So I like to say Shalom to all our listen and learn. Hope this helped you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So before we start today's lesson, I have a quick news article here by Daily Mail. And it reads, it said, Palestine activists block Brooklyn Bridge, Golden Gates, and roads to Chicago O'Hare Airport in coordinated attempt to bring America to its knees. So we already know what this is in response to what happened over in Israel, and we already know that Israel and Iran are going back and forth, with this proxy war that's going on right now. We know that things will escalate. We're seeing that right now. This is in response to this. I think it was last Monday. This embassy bombing, Iran embassy bombing in Damascus. So now they are responding with these drones, and these missiles strikes on Israel. So we already know that these things are going to constantly pick up. It's going to be more protesting, more rioting. See, so Iran has already warned that they are going to respond. They're going to respond to Israel. Also, they're getting ready to respond to America, Babylon the Great, right in our backyard. So we already know that right here. This happened early parts of Monday morning in New York. The Golden Gate, the Brooklyn bridge was blocked. They were protesting, while people were still on the bridge. Also in Chicago O'Hare Airport, and also the Golden Gate Bridge in California. So we're seeing that these things are coming right here in our backyard. And one thing about it, we constantly warning you, left and right, these things don't constantly pick up. They want that order out of chaos. Let's read a little bit more of this. It said Palestine activists have blocked the Brooklyn Bridge, the Golden Gate, and roads to the Chicago O'Hare Airport in a coordinated attempt to bring America to its knees. Let's read a little bit more. It said on Monday afternoon, more anti-Israeli protesters took to the Brooklyn Bridge and were seen walking through the traffic, chanting and banging drums and igniting flares. Let's get a little bit more. It said multiple protesters were arrested by the NYPD officers as they attempted to block the traffic on the bridge. Pro-Palestinian supporters have used Monday tax day as a way to make a statement in a nationwide A15 protest. The economic blockade is happening in solidarity with Palestine and his call for an arms to embargo and an end to U.S. taxpayer funding for Israel. So we're seeing a lot of these things that's going to constantly pick up. So we're seeing what happened at the Brooklyn Bridge right there in New York. We're seeing the Golden Gate Bridge. They causing all these different scenario, all these different calamities, uproars of the people, protesting, rioting. What I'm saying? Also, it's going to be a lawless time very soon. Sedition among men. All hell is getting ready to break loose. We're constantly warning you left and right. I think they put it in the news early, some part of the morning, but we're seeing that these things are constantly happening. Also in Atlanta, a lot of people have not received their tax return, so it's a lot of people in Atlanta. I think at Texas, and also I think Pennsylvania. I got a little clip on that too, also a little news article. But see, we seeing, so now they asking them for what you call verify their identification. So we already know what this is going to lead to. Order out of chaos. It's going to be uproars of the people. It's going to be what? It's going to be fighting, and it's going to be all sorts of city against city, brother against brother, you know what I'm saying? All sorts of calamities, all sorts of death and destruction. That's exactly what they want. Also, we knowing about this economic collapse is fast approaching. So they doing things right under the radar. They getting ready to reset everything. They getting ready to bring in this digital society, this swift blockchain system, and it will be dealing with your biometrics. You know what I'm saying? Your digital ID. So we already know, certain people haven't gotten their tax, and also we have certain ones that have got their tax. So they're targeting the mostly black populated area or people of color area. So we already know we're not ignorant of Satan's device. So I have another news article here on this right here. Let's read this. It says here's Fox 5 Atlanta. It said hundreds turn away from Atlanta IRS office as tax deadline looms. Let's get a little bit more here. It says here, it said Monday is the deadline for tax filers to send in their refunds to the Internal Revenue Service or face possible penalties. It said over the weekend, chaos unfold at the downtown Atlanta IRS tax office where hundreds of people showed up looking for free last minute help. Many were shocked when they were turned away and told to come back in over a month. They saw all of us here and then closed early, said one angry Atlanta resident told Fox 5. So one thing about it, so we know that these things gonna constantly pick up. So a lot of people right now, they're trusting in this system. They constantly trusting in the strength of Egypt, this broken reed. And a lot of people are going to line up like clockwork and take that under the skin. They're going to be going to these chipping stations. They're going to be going to these 5-minute cities. And a lot of people love it here and they get ready to die here. So a lot of people was wrapped around these buildings in Atlanta, in Houston, also I think Philadelphia was one of, and many other cities across America. And also we seeing that this Palestine protest against Israel, we seeing that that's happening all across. They causing this blockades, at the Chicago airport, O'Hare. They try to block the roadway there to cause all sorts of confusion and chaos. Also, the Brooklyn Bridge in New York and also the Golden Gate Bridge. So, and many other things are getting ready to happen. So we already knowing that all sorts of things are getting ready to happen. It's already, America's already on terror alert because they already having threats from Iran and many others militant groups. And also we know that we having these sleeper cells in place. So now let's get a few quick precepts, and then we'll start today's video. Let's go here to the Blue Letter, online Blue Letter. We'll start here in Ecclesiastes 9 and verse 12. Ecclesiastes 9 and verse 12. It said, For man also knoweth not his time, as the fishes that are taken in a evil net, and as the birds that are caught in the snare, so are the sons of men snared in a evil time, when it falleth suddenly upon them. So that's what's getting ready to happen. So that evil net, the net is already set, and one thing about a lot of people gonna get caught up in this evil net, and there's all these lies and deception, all this chaos. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people get caught up in this new blockchain system, this digital programmable, also implantable, a system that's coming upon us at a fast pace, because a lot of people are going to be seeking resources. When your money go, when the food go, who will you turn to? A lot of people going to turn to this, to this new system that they're putting in place right before our eyes. Also, we knowing that, that famine of the word is fast approaching. We knowing that, it's going to be, cyber attack, power grid outage. A lot of people right now, they are relaxing in their leaves right now. They're still eating good. It still help finance, still help shelter, but poverty is going to set in. Homelessness is getting ready to set in a big way. So it's going to be a time of trouble that we have never seen before. So let's read this in the NLT. It said, people can never predict when hard times might come. It said, like fish in a net or birds in a trap. Said people are caught by sudden tragedy. So that's what getting ready to happen all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying? When right now we're in peace and security right now. A lot of people right now they still are not watching the signs of the time. They still are not being circumspect, knowing what time that we're living in, not seeing the change in the environment, not watching the people they're being around, are being influenced by. So we're seeing that we're coming upon a dangerous time, a perilous time. We're seeing that things are constantly picking up. We're seeing that things are constantly increasing, and they're not going to get better. Because one thing about we already knowing that Jacob's trouble is almost at the door. We know that World War III, we at the beginning of World War III. Also, we at the beginning of sorrow, but we already know before all hell completely break loose. We know that they got to implement that grain of rice under your skin. The stage is set, all things are ready. So the title of the day lesson, once again, is Uproars of the People. So I have a few videos, and after the videos, we will start the lesson, and I hope that you will get edified.
Arrest impacted taxpayers. Now, based off the latest information from the IRS, while over 79 million tax returns have already been processed, there currently remains over 1.2 million unprocessed tax returns, and that number continues to rise on a daily basis, which means the backlog of unprocessed tax returns will continue to remain even after the tax filing deadline on April 15th. The majority of the over 80 million tax returns submitted so far this year have been processed without any issues, however. We have seen a higher number of delays this year compared to last year as a result of several different causes. Now, moving on to those top tax refund delays that are still impacting a number of our viewers, starting off with the need to complete ID verification. Many impacted by this will encounter the message on the left when checking their refund status results and encounter the yellow action required box along with comments below that indicating you will need to verify your identity and tax return information so that processing can continue along with reference of a letter being sent. Now, the letter is important, as many who need to verify their return are encountering the message as seen on the right, requesting them to enter the 14-digit control number listed on the letter to proceed. However, as we reported previously, there have been reports from some viewers who were able to verify their identity without the letter, while others who had their refunds on hold due to ID verification never saw these messages or received a letter, and were not even aware they needed to complete ID verification until they contacted the IRS.
So apparently, there has been long lines out of IRS buildings all across the U.S. This video is coming from Houston. I'm guessing people are not getting their tax returns. And I don't think people are too happy about that. This is just Houston alone yesterday, wrapping around the whole building. This is another video coming out of Charlotte, North Carolina, wrapped around the building. So I'm guessing people are now not getting their tax returns, or some kind of delay, or it's been put on hold. I don't know what's going on, but something is definitely strange because people are now not getting their tax returns like usual. This is another video, I think this is in Atlanta, of people, long lines of people, waves and waves of people that are now waiting for their tax returns or has not gotten them yet. Are y'all seeing this? Everybody comment down below on what y'all think is going on, because right now I don't know. I just know people not getting their tax returns, and people are not happy about this, especially the times that we going in where everybody's struggling. Oh, we need that paper. But I'm curious though, What y'all think is going on with the tax returns in the
Grand Rising, TikTok, Grand Rising. Well, it seems that we have a problem here, right? United States of America, the corporation. Well, I don't know if you guys been looking, but there have been videos showing that people are not getting their tax returns. Atlanta, Houston, and somewhere else, I think a few other places. But a lot of y'all don't understand, again, America corporation is broke. It's debt, $33 trillion in debt, no money. Only sound money is gold. Again, the guys got to understand the public and the private, contract law, contracts, trust. You have to understand all that type of stuff. When you don't understand that, then this is why you be in the situation. Again, that's going on. You got proxy war that's going on with Israel and Gaza and Iran and Israel and Ukraine and a lot of chaos, right? So we have to be mindful what's at stake here. This is what the elites do. This is what the Vanderbilts, the Rothschilds, the Vanguards, the Black Rocks, this is what they do, create chaos, a lot of confusion while they switch the whole switch, do a bait and switch with the financial system. Every time war and stuff go on, these people switch the whole system around. They make money, you don't make money, they put you in chaos, they take from you, they steal from you, they don't let you know what's going on, they conniving, they create a lot of distractions. Right now, you don't know, but you know, it's a financial shift that's happening. You're talking about new blockchain technologies that's taking over the whole world, right? So they don't want you to have.
So we're seeing right now, said the stage has already been set. All things are ready. So we'll start today's lesson. We're seeing that America is ascending into chaos. So we'll start here in 2nd Ezra chapter 9. And once again, I hope that you will get edified. So we'll start here in 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. It said, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the same pass, when I have told thee before. Verse 2 said, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. We're seeing that right now. UFO sites are all across the world. That's why we're seeing all these different things that constantly happen, constantly increasing. And one thing about it is that it's not going to get any better. So a lot of people right now still are putting their trust in this system. And one thing about it, you will be totally destroyed because we already know what's coming next, that grain of rice. So let's start back up. At verse 3 said, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. So that's what we constantly seeing. Things are constantly picking up. People are having a sense of uncertainty. A lot of people are going to be in desperation. So we already know once the food go, once the money go, we know and all hell is getting ready to break loose. It's getting ready to be a lawless time. They will show no regards very soon. It's coming. Order out of chaos. This is what these global elites want. You heard in that last video, this right now, what Satan is trying to get the advantage. Who is that physical counterpart to say that is the modern day Caucasian man, Esau, Edom, the devil that the Bible speaks of. Verse 4 said, then, and also we knowing about rumors of war, earthquakes, all sorts of strange weather pattern, it's constantly happening. It's going to constantly pick up. We're almost at that at that said measure. Verse 4 said, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake to those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Verse 5 said, for like as all that is made in the world has a beginning and the end is manifest. So we're seeing that end is constantly happening right before our eyes. We know that we're living in the last days. And one thing about it, we already knowing once they implement this new system, this new blockchain system, whereby you will not be able to buy or sell, things are going to get very, very real. And one thing about it, if you do not have faith, you do not have works, you're getting ready to die. And we constantly warn you left and right. The men of the Lord, we're constantly sighing and crying left and right. It is here. It is at the door. So now let's go here to 2nd Ezra chapter 15. This is where we at. This is about what is getting ready to go down right here. 2nd Ezra chapter 15. We'll start up at verse 15. And it reads that, for the sword in their destruction draws nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. So that's what's getting ready to happen. We're seeing all this desperation as these people hadn't gotten their tax return. A lot of people right now, can't hardly afford a rent, can't hardly afford to take care of their family, can't hardly afford food and gas. So we already know what things is getting ready to get very, very bad. Food shortage, starvation is going to set in. It's going to be all sorts of things. Going to be, it's going to be blood in the city. It's constantly, it's getting ready to happen. Already knowing the modern day sword is the what? It's the gun. All sorts of weaponry is getting ready to be used. Amen. The body count is getting ready to be great. Verse 16 said, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. In the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So we already seeing what's going on with this pro-Palestine protest. Already warnings behind warnings, rumors behind rumors, mischief upon mischief. We're seeing what Iran is doing. We already know that once America get involved, we know that Russia and China is getting ready to get involved. In Ezekiel chapter 38 war is constantly what? It's manifesting right before our eyes. The Lord is putting the chess pieces together. So we're seeing that these things is going to happen. So we already knowing once the money go once again, and once the food go, we knowing that all hell will break loose. It's going to be an invading force going to have to come in here. The UN peacekeeping, the UN no peace troops are coming in, the Gurga troops, these super soldiers, also these sleepers here. And one thing about it, we know that, hey man, it's getting ready to be a time that we have never seen before. They're not going to regard the law enforcement. They're not going to regard the government official, not going to even regard the government. Also the military. It's just going to be kill or be killed. One thing about it, order out of chaos. The Lord judgment is fast approaching. Mass judgment is upon Babylon the Great, America, that great horde that sits on many waters. The Lord is getting ready to destroy this place in 1 hour. We know that things can go nuclear at any given time, so we right at a hair trigger. If Israel constantly make their moves on Iran, and also we already know that the least of the flock will draw them out. We already know what's getting ready to happen. You know what I'm saying? Israel will be nuked, and also America will be totally destroyed, clean dissolved. Israel will be rebuilt. It will be the kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness. So we already know this getting ready. We're coming upon this lawless time. This is exactly what they want. Order out of chaos. Kill or be killed. They trying to kill billions of people. They trying to reset everything. You know what I'm saying? What they call a depopulation. So that's what's getting ready to happen. But one thing about it, he's in for a rude awakening. The Lord is getting ready to depopulate these heathen nations. Also, he's getting ready to depopulate these 2/3. So hey man, the Lord is a master chess player. Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able because of what? The lockdowns, the checkpoints, the mandates, these executive orders they get ready to put into place. And also these 15-minute set, also these shipping stations is coming as fast as approaching. And one thing about it, a lot of people are going to trust in the strength of Egypt, and they're going to lean and depend, and it's going to go into their right hand or in their forehead. Revelation chapter 13 is speaking loud and clear. We almost here. And one thing about it, we still have a lot of people are still not believers, still are scoffing them out. But guess what? All the game's about to be over. Verse 18, it said, for because of their pride, and the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and the men shall be afraid. So a lot of men is going to be afraid. A lot of men are going to lose their lives also in World War III. Anyone that goes over there in the Middle East, the so-called Middle East, will be put to death. When the Lord show up, he's going to lay everything even with the ground. The Lord is a master chess player. He's coming back as a great angelic force. And one thing about it, with great glory and great power. That's why he said, I shall not meet thee as a man. When you go to Isaiah, I think it's Isaiah 34. And one thing about it, the Lord's coming back at that great force, with the heavenly armies. You know what I'm saying? He's the Lord of war. And one thing about it, that the Lord he's setting it up. You know, so the writing is on the wall. So we're seeing right now, this city's going to be trouble. They're going to be totally destroyed. There's going to be fire everywhere, explosion, all sorts of chaos. We're seeing men and women will be afraid. And also we're going to see the body count, that we're going to see death in the air everywhere. We're seeing something that it's going to be something that you'll never see ever again. It's going to be the end of the world. The Lord's getting ready to bring it. In that day you shall know that a prophet was among you. Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because the lack of bread and great tribulation. So we already know we're coming upon that great economic collapse. We already know that the Lord is breaking what? The staff of bread, your necessity, your way of life is getting ready to change. This place is getting ready to be a third world country. It's getting ready to be a war zone. And we're constantly warning you left and right. You won't have the convenience going to these favorite restaurants. You won't have the convenience going to your refrigerator, cooking your favorite meal. All those things will be a thing of the past. People going to be fighting over a piece of bread, a can of beans. It's going to be a lawless time, raping, killing. You know what I'm saying? Stealing, robbing. It's all sorts of mayhem upon mayhem. That's exactly what they want. So let's go here to Isaiah. Let's get a little bit more. Let's go here to Isaiah, because it's going to be uproars of the people, rioting, protesting, strife and envy, death and destruction. Isaiah chapter 19, let's go here. Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 2. Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 2, it said, and I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, a city against city and kingdom against kingdom. So that's exactly what's going to happen. So when you don't have the resource, your well life has changed. It's going to be a lot of desperation. A lot of people will be afraid. A lot of people going to give up the ghost. And one thing about it, a lot of people are going to be in disbelief and surprise. But when it happened to you, what I'm saying, you will be in a rude awakening. When you go to Proverbs chapter 1, it say they shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. So modern day Egyptian is what the so-called white man. And one thing about it, they're gonna be fighting one another. It's gonna be all races gonna be fighting one another. All nationalities of people. It's getting ready to go down in a blaze of glory. And one thing about it is that we already know it, that the Lord said He will sustain us. He will provide for us in those times of trouble. So when you go to Matthew chapter 21 and 22, it tell you, for the elect's sake, those days shall be short. So one thing about it, so the Lord He always will be watching over the elect. And also we know that supernatural intervention is getting ready to come into play. When the enemy come in like a flood, the Lord already is going to lift up that standard. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, a way to escape, the Lord will provide for you. The Lord is going to keep us in the secret place of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Called we trust and believe in Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. So we seeing all these things are constantly picking up. We seeing that, we coming upon these perilous times. Get prepared. And the only way you will get prepared is by who? Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. So now let's go here. Let's go here to one moment. Let's go here to Ezekiel, and we'll get one more. We'll close out. Let's go here to Ezekiel chapter 4. Ezekiel chapter 4, and we'll start up around, I think is 16. Ezekiel chapter 4 and verse 16 said, moreover, he said unto me, son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight and with care, and they shall drink water by measure and with astonishment. So that's what's getting ready to happen. There's going to be a great famine in the land. So one thing about it is you're going to have a water shortage, food shortage, starvation is going to set in. One thing about it is it's going to be a lack of bread. A lot of people are going to be dismayed. A lot of people are going to be bugged out of their mind. A lot of people are going to give up the ghost because they don't have faith and works. They were constantly playing games, and all of a sudden they're going to find out that things is getting ready to get real. So now let's go here, verse 17, it said that they may want bread and water and be astonished or surprised one to another and consume away for their iniquity. So that's what's going to happen. A lot of people are riches and they possession going to be their stumbling, but also their money is going to be obsolete. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be worthless trash. You know what I'm saying? When everything go to this digital society, and even though they're going to come up with this universal basic income, but a lot of people going to line up. It's going to be a catch to it. That catch is that grain of rice. And a lot of people say, I got to eat. I need my medication. You know what I'm saying? I love my family. But do you love the Lord? Trust in the Lord. The Lord will take care of you through all of this. You know what I'm saying? Nothing is impossible for Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. But a lot of people love white men Jesus. The Lord loved everyone. But you get ready to find out. You get ready to feel the fire. So now let's go here. Let's get a little bit more here. Let's go to somewhere else I want to go. Let's go to Isaiah. Let's get a little bit more. A lot of people going to line up just like clockwork. When everything, all hell break loose, they're going to run straight to to white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. Let's go here, Isaiah chapter 30. A lot of people love him. They love him, and you get ready to die with him. Let's go here. Isaiah chapter 30. We'll start up at verse. Let's start up at verse 1. It said, "Woe to them." Said, "Woe to the rebellious children that says the Lord that take counsel." Well, let's just start over again. Salak. He said, Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 1 said, "Woe to the rebellious children, says the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that covering with a covering, but not of my spirit, that may add sin to sin." So that's what's getting ready to happen. A lot of these people, they don't have the covering of the Lord. They constantly want to be rebellious. They constantly want to be stiff-necked. They constantly have that do thy will spirit, and they constantly adding sin to sin. And one thing about it will be your demise. 2 parts therein will be cut off and die, because what? They constantly adding sin to sin. And one thing about it, they do not trust their true power, constantly scoffing and mocking the prophet. And these things about to be a thing of the past. The Lord's getting ready to cease the arrogancy of the proud. Verse 2 said, "That walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth the prophet, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt." So one thing about that, you see what happened right there in Atlanta, at this tax, they was all at the Internal Revenue Service, trying to get their taxes back so they can have a sense of normalcy. A lot of people right now, they don't know what they're going to do. They're lining up. They're coming there. They woe is me spirit right now. You know what I'm saying? They're trusting in the strength of Egypt, and Egypt is compared to what? To the house of bondage. So we're in the land of our captivity right now. But these 2/3, these wicked ass 2/3, they thinking that they are free. But one thing about it, you're not free. And one thing about it, you have a strong delusion. So one thing about it, let's read this again. It said, "To that walk to go down into Egypt." So we already knowing that modern day Egypt is America, Babylon Great. And also, we already knowing that Egypt is the house of bondage. So we're in our second bondage, you know what I'm saying? And one thing about it, the Lord is getting ready to come to deliver us with great glory and great power. And saying, "And have not asked at my mouth." The prophet, the one that's in the highways and byways, the one that's making these video epistles, each and every, the one that you constantly scoffing and mock. "I don't believe this. I don't believe that." We don't give a damn what you believe. The truth is the truth. And one thing about it, the Lord's getting ready to show up and put your ass to death. We cannot wait. To strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh. So who's the modern day Pharaoh? The so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. "And trust in the shadow of Egypt." This system that they get ready to put in place. Universal basic income. All you have to do is wave your hand. Very convenient. You know what I'm saying? It's you in and out with ease. You know what I'm saying? You don't have anything to worry about. Just trust us. You know what I'm saying? We here to help you. And a lot of people going to trust in this system. And verse 3, this is going to tell you what's going to happen. It said, "Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh," this system, this blockchain system, you know what I'm saying, "be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion." Your disorder. It's gonna bug you out. You're gonna be put to death when you go to Revelation chapter 14. Anyone that take on that mark, that badge of servitude, the charagma, you will have to suffer that second death. And the lake of fire, which in fact is Babylon the Great, America. This place is gonna be set on fire. And one thing about it, that we constantly warn you left and right. So now let's go to our last and final script. We'll close out here. Let's go out here. Ecclesiasticus, Sirach. Let's go here and we'll close out here. Let's go here. So a lot of people right now, they still have a sense of normalcy. They still thinking that everything is good. They in the house of mirth right now, drinking and being merry, still scoffing and mock, still don't know who they are, still don't know who their true power, and also they don't know what time that we're living in. Also, they don't know who the enemy is right now, but they get ready to find out. They're in for a rude awakening. The Lord's constantly revealing all things. Also, the truth is being declared all across the world. And one thing about all hell can break loose at any given time. It's time to seek the Lord while he can be found. So now, let's go here to Sirach, Ecclesiasticus 5 and 7. We'll close that here. And it reads that, "Make no terror to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance." That's where we at. A lot of people constantly putting off from day to day, not paying no type of attention, constantly walking in great pride, self-will, doing all sorts of abomination, this, what I'm saying, happy-go-lucky, what I'm saying, just going on with their daily life, thinking everything will be fine and all right. They in that same, Gentile mindset. If you live like a heathen, you're getting ready to die like a heathen. In the middle of the Lord, we constantly warn you left and right. You're in your security right now. You're in peace and safety right now. Everything is good. One thing about it, everything is getting ready to be a nightmare for you. And we constantly warn. We're asking the Lord, how long, oh Lord? You know what I'm saying? This is not your rest, you wicked two-third. You're getting ready to find out. Verse 8, it said, set not thy heart or your mind upon goods unjustly gotten, for they shall not profit thee in the day of calamity. That's what's getting ready to happen, the day of calamity, the day of darkness, a day of gloominess. That's when the Lord get ready to show up in the midst of World War III. You know what I'm saying? The Lord's going to show up and the Lord's going to do a mighty work. The Lord's getting ready to come to deliver us with great glory and great power, because we trust and believe in the Lord. And also we have faith. We constantly striving, to death to get to the finish line. We know we're almost there. We know we have a few more scriptures that's got to come forth. A few more things got to play out. A few more prophecy. One thing about it, we are very excited. So rejoice ye heaven. So the title of the day's lesson, once again, is Uproars of the People. So I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kwadash. I like to say, Shalom, Shalom.